Round 2, baby. Let's go. Shalom, everyone. My name's S, and I'm taking you on my conversion journey. So if you aren't subscribed to my channel, check down below. Make sure you're subscribed. And if you aren't subscribed to my Patreon, make sure you subscribe because we have some amazing things coming up. And I don't want you guys to miss out on it. I also have written 3 ebooks on my conversion. Well, not really on my conversion, but on topics that have come up on my conversion. And you could check down below, make sure you download them, and I hope they help you on your spiritual journey. So you guys are looking at the title and my crazy thumbnail. We are gonna start this all over again. And I'm in a better mood about it. If you guys watched my video on Patreon when I got the criticism I did, which was well needed, I did not react well to it. I was very sad. I was crying. I just was emotional, roller coaster all over the place. I've picked myself back up and now I'm seeing this in a different light. And this is actually a great thing. I decided to push my conversion back a year. And it could probably happen sooner. It could probably happen 6 months, but ideally I'm pushing it back a full year because I am not ready. Let me elaborate further on this. I had a meeting and basically one of my rabbis have informed me that he feels that there are gaps in my knowledge, even though everyone has gaps. But for a convert, this is significant. This doesn't necessarily mean that you know the meat and potatoes, but your foundation has holes in it, and that's not good. And when I was informed that he said this, I was devastated because here I am on YouTube, I'm making videos, I'm studying every week. I am nowhere near where I should be. And it's completely normal for this to happen, apparently. I spoke to a few converts about it, and they're like, it's very rare during an Orthodox conversion that somebody just converts within a year or even less. There's so much to learn, so much to study, and emotionally you have to get there. And to be honest, emotionally, I'm not there yet. There are a few things as I reflect on the past year that I've noticed maybe I wasn't doing correctly, maybe I was a bit more lax, and I'll go through them with you guys so you guys aren't making the same mistakes. Like I've said in many of my ebooks and many of my videos, no one's conversion is going to be the same. You guys are going to have different reasons for converting, different environments, different times. The start of my conversion was during the pandemic, and it's been carried on till now, and it will be on for another year. So here's what I realized. I was overconfident and more so overconfident in that I'm converting. And I wasn't being present in my conversion. I don't know if that makes sense to you guys. I was very happy that I was in the process. I was very happy that I was going to families, but I wasn't paying attention fully to what was being said to me and what was actually being taught and the things I was reading. I was very lax in my reading because I'm reading all these books, but how much of it am I retaining? Am I reading properly? Am I studying properly? And I failed to be present, and it showed because I'm also in this year conversion class, and this is how I'm basically timing my conversion or measuring the time is because I did this year class and I don't know much. And it's not because the rabbis were bad teachers or because I wasn't taught right. It's because I wasn't studying properly. I wasn't fully present in the class, and I was very kind of lazy. I would show up to class late. I would kind of put the Zoom camera. I wouldn't even have my face on. I wasn't interacting. And most importantly, I wasn't asking the wrong and right questions. I was too embarrassed of what people may think. And I was just kind of letting every class go by without challenging the rabbi or challenging myself. And that showed, because I'm sitting here at the end of my conversion, which should be the end, but it's not. And I can't even explain certain things. I don't comprehend what's going on in the Torah. I don't have a sense of the calendar. I have gaps in family modesty. I have gaps in kashrut, in Shabbat. I can't really keep Shomer Shabbat because I don't understand all of the rules. Like, there is just so much knowledge that I have missed within the past year. And at first I was beating myself up over it. I was just like, I can't believe he thinks I'm not ready. I've been studying for a year. And then the reality stopped me in the face. I wasn't doing what I should be doing. And it's time for me to really put my best foot forward and to get to work, because I'm in competition with myself right now. And I know it shouldn't be like that, but I'm more amped and much more prepared in learning about Judaism this second time around than before. So how do I know I'm also not ready? Is because the feeling I get when people are saying that, when are you going to go to the mikveh? When is it over? And I'm just like, I don't know, like whenever they say. I haven't gotten the feeling yet that I'm like, ugh, I want it so bad. Of course I want it, but I'm also okay with kind of dragging my feet because I don't feel fully confident. I don't feel fully comfortable yet. And that's because my foundation of learning is gappy. You know when you know. And I'm no longer putting a strain on my age. I'm not putting a strain on when I'm going to have kids. I'm not putting a strain on when I'm going to get married anymore, because those things were right front and center for me. It's like, I want to finish the conversion because I want to get married and have kids and do this and that. But I'm like, I can't, how am I supposed to build a Jewish home when I don't even know how to build a Jewish home? And I realized, I know Hashem is going to give me those things. I just got to chillax a bit and just let myself authentically be Jewish and learn effectively and actually implement the things that I've learned. I can't rush these things, and you cannot rush a conversion. I also want to say something to the Jewish community, people who are born Jewish and dealing with somebody who is converting. The most pressing question for us is, when is it over? And how long is it going to take for you to convert? Because we really don't know. It's something that's innate. It's something that happens when it happens. And even though I'm going to go through another year, maybe I won't even be ready in a year. Like, some people's conversions take years, and now I'm finally understanding why. Another thing for my lovely Jews is, don't rush this for us. I recently had somebody go out of the way to contact my rabbi and explain to him that she needs to be moving faster and faster. Like, this conversion needs to be this. And although I understand where her spirit was and where she came from, and maybe it was my fault for oversharing my journey. I don't know. Maybe I gave off a vibe that I wanted her to go out of her way and do something. But I didn't need her to do that. And right now, my conversion is very fragile. Every little thing I do is going to be put into account, whether the Bet Din thinks I'm ready or not. They're not going to rush anyone for anything, okay? So you can talk to all the rabbis you want or say whatever you want. It's ultimately up to the convert. It's up to me to basically prove that I am ready. Now that I have the tools and resources to get there, I'm going to be unstoppable. I can't rely on my Jewish friends now to push me there forcefully. It's something that has to gradually happen over time. So I printed out this like assessment my rabbi gave me. It's a packet, the thickest packet in the world that asks questions of basically all areas of Judaism. I went through the packet and I was trying to answer all the questions that I can, and I highlighted the things that I knew and that I didn't know. And there were a lot of things I did not know. I'm not saying you need to go crazy. Like, I'm going crazy about this. I'm passionate about it, and this is the way I'm going to live my life. I don't want to enter any, and I don't advise anybody to do this. Don't enter a new culture, a new religion, until you know everything that is going on. You may not understand it all, but you should know as much as possible. And I think that was my problem. I'm over here trying to rush to be Jewish. Meanwhile, I don't understand a lot of this, and I don't know a lot of this. And I could be signing my life away to things that I may not be able to do, or that I may not feel comfortable doing. As I'm going through this assessment, I'm like, wow, this rabbi was right about me. He knew that I wasn't ready, and I went to immediately defense mode instead of looking and taking what he said and using it to my advantage to really pinpoint out where are the gaps. And the only person who's gonna know where the gaps are you. And you have to be the one reading, you have to be the one studying, you have to be the one going out and reaching out to people. Another thing I realized is that I was making silly mistakes. The mistakes I make were putting my sponsoring families at risk to break Shabbat. I went to a new family this past week, and they were wonderful, so knowledgeable and everything, but I made a mistake. I purchased non-mevushal wine, and even though it's kosher, I didn't remember my teachings and my learnings, and they're sitting with a non-Jew. I'm not Jewish until I go into the mikveh. So they're sitting with the non-Jew drinking this wine, and then they're like, wait a second, it's not mevushal. So I'm like, I shouldn't be making silly mistakes like that when I'm in the presence of Jewish people. And it was embarrassing for me, because I'm like, here I am bragging about how I'm ready and I'm studying. Meanwhile, I'll make silly mistakes like that. And I'm not saying people don't make mistakes. People have been Jewish and making all types of mistakes. But I am holding myself to a very, very high standard here. And I want to be authentic and great at this. And I know I'll make mistakes. Mistakes will happen, of course, I'm human. But those type of mistakes, I don't want to make anymore. I feel more relaxed now that I've been studying more effectively. I think everyone should learn from me right now. Like, your conversion may take longer than what you anticipate. There are always exceptions to the rule. The timing of it all is just not something I can truly measure. I just know that for the next 12 months, it's going to be me and this camera, and we are going to be documenting every bit of it. I think this first year was just a test run just to see if I even like being Jewish, or if I even like trying to be Jewish. And now I'm stepping into a phase where I want to be Jewish, and everything I do will have that in mind. So I am excited. I am, because the learning just makes more sense now. Now that I have like basic level, I'm now taking it to intermediate. And I'm taking you with me. So if you guys like my content and want to follow me on my journey, subscribe to my Patreon down below and give this video a thumbs up. Don't forget to download your ebooks, and I will see you guys in the next video. Shalom.